So what do you guys think of this new album? I think it's pretty interesting, but it's not my favorite. But there are some good tunes off of it, so I decided to learn 1 point perspective for you, and I'll teach it to you today on guitar. Also, the piano plays most of the chords and is a very vital part to this song, so I will put the chord progression and the piano notes here at the end of the video. So if you want to learn the chords first or whatever you want, just click to this timestamp at the end of the video. Otherwise, I'll just jump straight into the guitar part for this song. So tone-wise for this song, you probably want to be using your bridge pickups for a really bright sound. And let's see, I'll just add on my effects one by one. I have a pretty big reverb. Pretty spacey reverb. I have some delay. It's kind of like a slow tapering echo. And then I have a little bit of distortion or overdrive, whichever one you have, just to dirty it up a little bit. Last, and this is probably the most important for this style, this album, is a little bit of vibrato. So you hear it's wavering the pitch a little bit. It's not tremolo, where tremolo wavers the volume, it's wavering the pitch a little bit. So if you don't have a vibrato, you can get by with maybe a chorus, maybe a rotary, something that just kind of wavers it a little bit. And to top it all off, I have a whammy bar because he uses that a couple times to dive down. And then lastly, for the solo, you're going to want a very heavy fuzz. It's pretty effect heavy, but if you don't have them all, it's fine. I mean, the chords will sound good and the notes will sound good just by themselves. So as far as structure goes, I'm not really sure what to call some of these sections. There's only 2 progressions really, so let's go with like verse and chorus. So the song, you can either think of it as in C minor or E flat major. I would probably say minor just because it revolves around the minor chord mostly, but E flat and C minor share the same key signature. The first thing the guitar will play, it's kind of in the background, so you gotta hear it. It's after 10 bars after the piano intro. You will play. That's the first thing the guitar plays, and then the next thing will be coming into like the lyrics. But you can hear this one pretty easily, and it's going to involve a lot of sliding. Here is the riff that comes up next. You'll play the riff, and then you'll end on that E flat 7. So it's a flat 7 chord, so this is technically out of the key signature. Here it is one more time. That riff gets played several times with a few minor changes, so make sure you're paying attention in the future when we play that, but there's slight modifications to it. The second part of that riff goes as followed. And the next part goes like this. When you end on C minor, you can either play it up here or you can play it here, whichever one you're comfortable with. And to finish off that little phrase, you will play this. Let's hear that whole sequence in a row. Alright, pretty easy so far. Then this is the second progression. We only have 2 altogether. This one is actually just chords. There's no really riffs, so I'll play the chords for you. It's C minor, G minor, F minor, F minor for 2 beats, G minor for 2 beats. And then we play C minor again. G minor again, F minor again, and then this is a kind of strange jazzy chord that they throw in. What's happening is the bass is playing an open E, And we will be playing 9, 8, 9, and 6, which sounds like this. And that is an E major 7 sharp 11. If you don't know what that is, it does not matter. Just play these notes and it will sound good. But what happens is they strike that on beat 1. If you have one guitar player, they can do that and just hold it out, let it ring. And then you'll play, so you'll play it on 1. So let me try to do it in time for you. It'll be like this. So that's probably the strangest chord on here, the one you might not have played before. E major 7 sharp 11, classic. Alright, so the solo, it's pretty easy note-wise, but you gotta listen to how he plays it to get his exact like slides and kind of like embellishments down. First of all, you're gonna need a fuzz pedal for this if you want to replicate it like pretty closely. This is a pretty wicked fuzz that he has on. Mine will not do it justice because I got this for pretty cheap at Guitar Center, but you'll get the point. So the first line into the solo is this. Let me play it again for you. The next measure, I'll play it a little slow because it's kind of rhythmic. So far we have the next bar sounds like this. So a little slower, here it is. So instead of hitting this 8 right here, you're going to hit the 7 below it and yank it up to the 8. Here it is in time. Here's the next bar. Here it is a little slower. And the final bar, same notes but just different rhythm. And you'll slide up. You have to listen to what note he slides up exactly. I'm just going to slide up as high as I can go though for now. And here's the whole solo in time. After the guitar solo, we're going to go into some familiar territory. This riff that we kind of played, it's a little bit different, so pay attention to the notes. And you kind of just fall off. I use the whammy bar. If you don't have one, it's not a big deal. Then to finish up that thought, you'll play this. Alright, so after that, we have a section of 4 measures that gets repeated over and over again on guitar. I think it happens at least twice, maybe 3 times. You'll hear it at the end. And it's weird because it just takes like 4 bars of the chord progression and loops it, even though it's not necessarily in order from the original progression. Here is the last part that will be eventually looped 2 or 3 times. And that's where you're going to play it again. You'll play that 2 or 3 times, and that is the end of the guitar parts. Alright, as promised, I will show you the chord progression for this, in case you want to play it on piano or guitar or whatever. When you first listen to it, you think, oh, this is in B flat. Oh, actually, no, it's in G minor. Oh, wait, no, it's in E flat major 7. What's happening is the piano player is playing the top 3 or 2 notes of each chord, and the bass player plays the root. So if you just had the piano part in front of you, you would think it's like a G minor, when in fact there's an E flat underneath it, which would make it an E flat major 7. If you don't get that, don't worry about it, it's not a big deal. I'll spell it out for you right here. So the first chord is E flat major 7. The next chord is G7, C minor, E flat 7, A flat minor, G minor, and then C minor, A flat minor, E flat major 7, and again. So that's the basic chord progression right there. There's a couple more passing chords that they throw in, but just for learning's sake, I'll leave those passing chords out. If you want to listen to it and figure those ones out, they do like a lot of 2-5-1s instead. But if that doesn't make sense to you, don't worry about that either. So here's the entire chord progression. I'll play it for you in a row. And if you look at these progressions and you think, that doesn't sound quite right, it might not, because the guitar or piano, whichever you're playing, they're not supposed to be playing the root. That's just for the bass. But if you listen to the recording, the bass is definitely playing these roots, which on top of those makes these chords what they are. And the one caveat is the last 4 bars, instead of playing that E major 7 for 2 times in a row, what they'll do is they'll jump straight back to G minor instead. And then take it to C minor again, A flat major, A flat minor, and then go back to G minor again. And they kind of loop that section. So basically, the last time you play the loop, you're going to cut out those 2 E flat major 7th chords and replace it with a G minor and then a C minor, and then you're going to play that A flat major, A flat minor, and then do it again. Alright, well, thanks for watching. This lesson it was a tough one to learn, but I'm thinking I got most of the chords right, all the riffs correct, so comment down below and let me know if you have any ideas for the next song I should do for guitar. Thanks for watching, subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys next time.